the beginning of the episode, we can see the crowds of people nearby Tinmo sheds. A real engine from the Great Western Railway number 3440 City of Truro came to visit the island of Sodor. Everyone was busy and excited, making notes and taking photographs. Thomas asked Doug, who is that engine? Doug said it's a celebrity. But look at Doug, he's derailed.
Oh, what? Asked Percy.
Doug explained that celebrity is a very famous engine. His driver says engines can talk to him soon.
Oh, said Thomas, he's probably too famous to even notice us.
Just then, Gordon arrived.
Who cares? A lot of fuss about nothing if you ask me.
And Gordon steamed away.
Later that night, the engines found that the visitor wasn't conceited at all. He enjoyed talking to the other engines till long after the stars came out.
I have a question. How can an engine without a face talk? Same goes for the coaches in the first season. Tell me what do you think in the comments. So back to the episode.
He left early next morning. Good riddance.
What is that long pause supposed to be? Nobody says nothing, and only sounds in the background can be heard.
Next morning. Good riddance.
Gordon's eyebrows are missing, and his buffers are crooked.
He's famous. As famous as me, Huff Gordon. Nonsense.
Thomas explained he's famouser than Gordon, because he went for a 100 miles per hour before Gordon was even thought of.
But I didn't like his looks. He's got no dome. Never trust domeless engines. They're not respectable. I never boast, but I'd say that 100 miles an hour would be easy for me.
Gordon left. Later, Doug took some trucks to Edward's station.
That famous engine came through this morning.
Now there are two things wrong here. First, Edward's whistle is crooked, and Henry's eyes are pretty wonky.
He's the finest engine in the world, replied Duck. Then he told Edward what Gordon had said. Take no notice, soothed Edward. He's just jealous. Look, he's coming now. Gordon's wheels pounded the rails. He did it, I'll do it. He did it, I'll do it.
Wait a second. Gordon already passed through Wellsford, so why is he passing that station again? And his eyes are wonky, and his cylinder is just... moving on. Gordon was speeding through the Henry's forest, but in the following close-ups, the forest is nowhere to be seen.
We are then.
Once again, Gordon passed through the same area twice. Anyway, Gordon was starting to feel a little strange.
The top of my boiler seems funny, he thought. It feels as if something is loose. I'd better go slower.
Did you see that? Gordon has hidden the bush. Then it was too late, because on a viaduct, the wind blew suddenly a hard puffs. Gordon thought it wants to push him off the bridge.
No, you don't!
But the wind had another idea. It curled around his boiler, grabbed his loose dome, and lifted away to the valley below. Gordon was feeling uncomfortable. The cold wind was whistling through the hole where his dome should be. But Gordon is lifted a little bit. In the next scene, Gordon lost his coaches. And this one has some red and blue wire sticking from him. Gordon tried to blow steam, but it was no use.
They crowded round no matter what he did.
On the way back, Gordon wanted his driver to stop and fetch his dome.
We'll never find it now, said the driver. You'll have to go to the works for a new one. Gordon was very cross.
He isn't cross, he has a shamed face mask. As Gordon was steaming back, he wished the shed will be empty tonight, but all the engines were there waiting for Gordon.
Never trust domeless engines. They aren't respectable.
So those are all of the Goofs found in Season 3 episode, Gordon and the Famous Visitor. I hope you all enjoyed this video, my dear train lovers, and I'll see you next time.